Good afternoon. This is Neeraj, again presented before you charming people to discuss on interesting topic underlying research methodology. In last class, we covered a few important and interesting aspects like as what is research, how can we define research in different manner, what exactly research mean, what is its scope, what is the importance of research. Likewise, today we would like to know about why research is considered as the scientific research, whether only science underlie the research or there is some element of arts also. So exactly what is nature of research, whether it is science or art, and afterward we will try to know the research process on the basis of our knowledge outcome on the basis of whether research is science or art or both. So today we will try to cover two important aspects of introduction of research methodology. First one is what is important characteristics of the research to be as the science or art, and second thing, what is the research process, what are various steps of research process. So let's start our discussion, my dear friends. What exactly nature of research? What you can, when we talk about the research, then whether it underlie science or art or both. Now, if we want to know about this feature of the research, then definition of research, again I want to recall that research is the systematic and objective process to gain new knowledge. Definitely, process should be scientific, should be objective. Now, if this is the definition, it means research is science. So what does this science word mean exactly? Science is organized body of knowledge. Hardly matter whether it is in history, geography or in physics, chemistry. Any knowledge which has been accumulated, organized, systematized, that is science. So when we talk about science, then this is not the subject, rather this incorporates, this talks about method or methodology. So as per method or methodology, research is a true science because it follows a systematic pattern of techniques, certain steps which as the researcher we must know what are those steps and what are various techniques or the methods underlie each steps, what is the sequential pattern of those steps, whether there is overlapping of those steps or not. So if we follow set a standard or certain norms, on the basis of that we design and execute our research work, then that is science. So definitely research is science. But again, question arises, research is art or not? Here I would like to mention something about art. Art is application of the knowledge. Definitely as the researcher there might be n number of ways to design and apply in the particular manner, in the specific manner, depending upon various local factors. We cannot deny this locality. Okay, research process might be certain to some extent. It is universally applicable to all over the globe, but its application may depend on the various local factors which a researcher must understand, and he should know exactly what are those factors, those are influencing his or her research, and to consider those factors in designing and executing his research work. So in that manner, we can say research is also an art of application, applying in the local environment. Research is an art. Its application depends on local variables. This concept does not deny about systematic approach. As I said at very outset, okay, you have some flexibility to apply research work depending on the local factors, but this you should be creative enough. Your creativity is required, but this does not overrule the systematic approach of the research. So in nutshell, we can say research is both systematic and it is very artful. It is not armchair speculation or personal conviction to follow the research in any manner. It is not like that. If you want to be researcher, if you want to conduct your study in the fruitful manner to get the valid result, then you must know and follow certain norms which is applicable throughout the world, so that result can be validated by other researchers by adopting same method, same techniques. Fine. Then on the basis of this discussion, we should proceed towards another very important aspects, both from examination and knowledge point of view, that what is research process. Research process is the systematic approach to the research, to have certain steps, comprises various research activities arranged in quite systematic manner. In fact, it is arranged in sequential manner. This is why research project, to design and execute the research project, you need some systematic approach, because there is certain steps which as the researcher you must plan, you must cover. What are those steps? As the researcher, this is very important to know what are these steps. But here a word of caution. Okay, we should know those steps, but we should not have watertight compartment between these steps. To some extent, these steps might be overlapping to each other. For example, first step might be overlap to second step or third steps. So when we have to do work on third step, we have to think first step, and when we have to do work at first step, we may think third step or fourth steps. So as the whole process should be conceptualized in the researcher mind as a whole. But for convenience, for academic purpose and for systematization, research process can be conveniently broken down into certain steps. In different books, you may find different nomenclature of steps. However, as a whole, all steps can be conveniently narrated into similar type, more or less similar type of steps. So we start with the first step of the research process as defining the research problem. First of all, I just narrate steps. Afterward, we will discuss in a little detail about each step. First step, defining and redefining the research problem. Second step, to conceptualize or plan research design. Third step, to collect needed information or data. Fourth step, processing and analysis of collected data. Last or fifth step is to present the findings in the form of project report or whatever may be your way of presentation. So presentation of the finding is the last or fifth step. So we summarize only 5 steps under research process. First, defining the research problem or formulating the research problem. Second, to plan the research design. Third, to collect the needed information. Fourth, to process and analyze the collected information. And fifth, presentation of data. Now, we have to understand these all steps one by one. Today, we will cover only first step in a little bit detail. First is to define, to formulate the research problem. It is oft quoted quotation that well defined or well understood, half done. Meaning by this, if you understand the problem in its totality, in its completeness, in greater depthness, then it means you get half solution. In the light of this statement, we should proceed towards to understanding, to defining and phrasing the research problem. How will you formulate your research problem? How will you phrase your research problem? For understanding your research problem, certain activities are there, certain suggested steps are there. First important step, you have to be flexible. This is approach, in fact. You have to be very flexible when you have to collect data. Why? Because you are doing exploratory type of research. Here, as the researcher, you need not seek for the solution. Rather, your whole attention, your whole effort, your whole strategy should be directed to understand the problem in greater depthness. And for the purpose, as the researcher, you have to design exploratory type of research where flexibility is needed. You have to get information from all the direction, all the possible direction, what you can get. That will help to formulate the research problem in the consolidated manner, in the right manner, to get as many information as possible. And this is possible, my dear friends, through various techniques. The first important technique, which also very appeals to me, is to discuss with knowledgeable person, with experts who are having good knowledge of your research project subject, who are supposed to be experts in that area. Suppose you want to do some research in rocket science, then you must talk to some scientists related to rocket science. Or you want to know something about consumer behavior, then you have to meet those people. Those are supposed to be, say, good manager, good knowledgeable persons, good organizational members having knowledge of consumer behavior. You can also meet with the decision makers of the organizations. Those are dealing with your subject matter. So talk with the decision makers, talk with experts, talk with your peers, talk with your guides, talk with your teachers. What would be benefit? You will have required knowledge and you will be able to understand what the problem exactly is. Afterward, you as the researcher also required to study certain materials. All the materials, all the documented materials might be of two categories. First category of material is termed as conceptual material. Second is empirical material. Let me write down over here. this study of these two materials come under broad heading literature review. So when you go through this literature review, you may get two different types, two different sets of materials. First, conceptual material. In fact, conceptual material is related with theories, with concepts, with ideas related with your research subject. So when you go through some theory, it gives you conceptual framework about your research project, and that is important. Second, empirical materials. These materials are related with research done by other researchers previously, related to your subject matter. Suppose if you find some online materials posted at Google or some other sites, or you can find some some text material in various sources, where in journal or magazines you may find certain researches related to your research work, then that is empirical research. When you cover these two materials in good detail, then definitely you might be having greater grip on the understanding of your subject. You will be able to understand your subject in comparatively greater extent. So when you discuss your subject matter with the knowledgeable person, that is experience survey, and when you get through this literature survey or literature review, then definitely you will be very handy, very knowledgeable in comparison to a layman about your research project. By covering these two important aspects, you may also do some qualitative research, or you may collect some first-hand data to understand the exact nature and dimension of your research. Actually, there might be two types of data, primary data and secondary data. We all know primary data is the first-hand data, secondary data is the data or information collected by someone else for another purpose. It is always important for understanding the research problem to go through secondary data at the starting, because secondary data is the ready reckoner. You need to invest less time, less money to go through secondary data. These are already available, but primary data you have to go to collect these data by exerting greater effort or by investing a lot of money in comparison to secondary data. But to a small extent, you can collect some primary data also to support your secondary data. After doing this type of survey, primary data survey or secondary data, and some qualitative research, as the researcher, you will be able to understand the exact nature of the problem. You can define the scope of research. You can also formulate objective of the research. You can also formulate, say, hypothesis of the research. Hypothesis is the assumption about probable solution of the problem under study. So as the researcher, when you confront with any problem, certain assumption come in your mind. You are not sure at this time whether assumption A is right or assumption B is right. These are probable answer, which later on you have to test by after collecting the data, and then you test assumption A is justified or assumption B is justified, and accordingly you select and reject. Then we formulate, since time is limit. Next day we will also continuing to cover this subject from where we are living today. Thank you for understanding this concept with me. Thank you very much.